Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Hangover series. I'm down bad right now. My head hurts extremely bad. I had a wild weekend. It was so much fun, but it was wild. I was out until like 4 a.m. last night. I went to the boiler room and it was amazing. I got to wear sunglasses in the club all night. I don't know if it's considered a club. I just have been calling everything a club lately. Like, I'll go get bagels and I was like, I'm at the club. I got to wear sunglasses all night long. It was amazing. I don't know if I have really bad eyesight or something, but I couldn't see shit in the sunglasses. I had the sunglasses on and I was like, I can't see anything. I can't see anything, or I can't see anyone. It was amazing. It was iconic. Lots of tequila shots were taken. I had my first ever tequila Red Bull situation. That was very interesting. It reminded me of being in college. I used to be obsessed with vodka Red Bulls, with the yellow tropical Red Bull. That was my fucking shit. I probably was drinking way too many of them, honestly. I know you're not supposed to mix Red Bull and alcohol, but everyone was doing that. And I was obsessed with the yellow Red Bull. I had that with me when I was drinking all the time. And I'm like, wait, maybe I should bring that back. But I had never had a tequila Red Bull, and I had a tequila Red Bull last night, and that was very, very interesting, very different. And there were these men there, and one of them was in love with me, basically, and I was so drunk that I was like, is he hot? Am I in love with him? Shit, maybe we're in love. But my friends were like, he is not that hot, and I'm like, let me put the sunglasses back on. Everyone's hotter when you have sunglasses on. And he wanted to canoodle me very badly. He put his arms around me and tried to dance with me, and I was like, what? I'm not here to do that. But it got me thinking, because of how bad he wanted to canoodle me, it got me thinking about what it's like to have a sleepover with a man. We've all been there, where you meet a guy at the bar, or you meet a guy out and about, or you're even just talking to a guy, and you go home with him and you have a sleepover with a guy at their house, and it's just the worst night of your life, basically. I obviously did not go home with this man. I don't even know his name. He didn't even ask for my number. The only thing that we had in common was that we liked tequila shots, and he bought me a tequila shot. But I haven't had a sleepover with a man in quite some time, literally months. I don't even remember the last time I had a sleepover with a man, because it's been so goddamn long. But the way this man wanted to canoodle me last night, I was like, this is always how you end up having a sleepover with a man, is when they try to canoodle you at the bar. They're like, you're hot, let's canoodle, and then you end up going home with them. Lucky for me, I haven't been put in this situation in quite some time. I've been avoiding men at all cost. Men are not approachers. It's just not really been my vibe. I also don't really like to have men in my bed, because this is my bed, this is my space, and every single time a man has ever been in my bed, it just ruins everything, Then I'm going to bed and I'm like, why the fuck was a man in here? If I'm having a sleepover with a man, it's gonna be at their house. It's never gonna be here. Is that a red flag? I'm not sure. I just really feel like they ruin the vibe of my bed. They ruin the vibe of my room. They just ruin everything. So for the listeners that haven't had a sleepover with a male in a long time, or maybe you just haven't ever had a sleepover with a male in your whole life, I wanted to give you guys the point of view of what it is like to have a sleepover with a male. Because whether you've been there or whether you haven't been there, I think it's really important to know that you are not missing out on a singular thing. Having a sleepover with a guy is an experience that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. And I'm not saying that this is all men. I've obviously had good sleepovers with people before, and we've had some fun, but I feel like majority of the time, this is the point of view that I am receiving. This is the situation that I'm in. Let's just go through what it's like to have a sleepover with a guy. For anyone that's curious, this is what it's like. You know, we've all been there where you meet a guy at the bar and then you go home with him. Or you go on a Hinge date and then somehow you're at his house that night. You're like, how did I get here? Why am I here? I thought I was going to get pasta and now I'm in a man's bed. We've all been there and it's okay to admit that. You know, it's fun. It's an experiment and it's an experience. It's for the plot. It's a good story. It's a good moment. It's good to test out different beds. It's good to see what kind of sheets you like. It's good to find out, you know, what you're looking for. The first thing that I always notice when I go to a male's home is they all have the same colored sheets. I think like this was a topic on TikTok and like trending online for the longest time. And it is actually so fucking true. All men have either like navy blue sheets or they have like a dark gray sheet. And ever since that was trending online, like every time I go to a guy's house, I'm like, oh my God, they all do have this color of sheets. So if you're a male and you have navy blue sheets or gray sheets, just know that you're like every other male out there, and you know what, that's okay. But I do want to know, like, from a male's perspective, like, what is it about navy blue sheets that you're like drawn to, and why does every guy like want navy blue sheets? Like, what is the science behind that? What's the research? If you're a male listening to this, like, let me know, because I'm actually curious. Like, why don't they ever go for like a green or for like a I can't even think of what colors are in the rainbow, but like I have baby pink sheets and I love them, you know? Like it's just what makes my bed fun. But you go to the male's house and you immediately walk in and you're like, where the fuck am I? And why am I here? And how did I get here? They have the navy blue sheets. I feel like a lot of males also have like some sort of flannel plaid comforter. I like am having flashbacks to different males' bedrooms right now, and I feel like they all have that. They also never have like enough toilet paper in their bathroom. Like I feel like I've gone to so many males' houses and I'm like, where's the toilet paper? Like, why does he not have toilet paper? Or they don't have like hand soap, or they don't have like a hand towel. Like it just looks like nobody even lives there half the time, or it looks like someone's really been living there, you know? It's like very confusing in a male's bathroom. They don't have anything a woman needs. They just have like barely any toilet paper, barely any soap, and like if they have a washcloth to like wash your hands on, you're like blessed. Why can guys literally fall asleep in 2 seconds? Like I swear they close their eyes and you're like, hey, and they're like passed the fuck out. They're asleep. They have no thoughts anymore. They're just so sleeping. They're just so sleeping. They're just so asleep. They can fall asleep anywhere. They can fall asleep on the couch. They can fall asleep in the bed. They can fall asleep on the floor. They can fall asleep in the hallway. Men can sleep everywhere and they sleep with everyone. But like you go to their house before, we need to backtrack. I like just got straight to them going to sleep. You walk in their house and I feel like a lot of times they like don't even turn the lights on. Like they're like just trying to get you to canoodle them immediately. And you're like, whoa. Like, where's the water? Where's this? They never get you water ever. They literally never get you water. I feel like I've gone to so many guys' houses and I'm like parched. I'm so thirsty. And I'm like, can I have some water? And they're like, yeah, you know where the sink is. And I'm like, I literally don't know where the sink is. I've never been here before. And if I have been there before, I'm like, wait, can he just get me water? I remember one time I was having a sleepover with a male and I was so thirsty. And I was like, can you please get me some water? And he literally would not get me water. Like basic necessities in life. If someone was sleeping at my house, like I would immediately get them water if they needed water. So crazy times, but they never get you water. And if they do get you water, they like don't even know how to properly give someone water. Like they just put like a splash of water in it. They give you no ice and they're just like, here, drink up. And it's probably like a dirty cup that hasn't been washed in like months. and they're like, drink up. And then like you bring the water into their room and they like don't have a nightstand. They have nowhere for you to put the water. Like you're like, do I put this on the floor? Like, where do I put this? Where do I put this object? And then you're like, can I have a pair of like pajamas, or like what am I sleeping in? Like, I don't want to sleep in my mini skirt, sir, that I just partied at the club in. Like, do you have pajamas for me? And then they give you pajamas, and I feel like men are so weird about the pajamas that they're giving you, which, like, you know what? I have stolen a lot of male pajamas, and I'm not gonna lie, I have a lot of males' sweatshirts. My ex-boyfriend sweatshirts, situationships, like, I keep those things, you know? They're bigger, they're comfier, they're perfect. And I don't think about the men when I wear the sweatshirt. There's this one specific man that I have had his sweatshirt for the longest time, probably like 4 years. And it's like one of my favorite sweatshirts. It's oversized. It's so comfy. I'm obsessed with it. And I never think about him when I wear it. But I have been thinking lately, because I post a lot of TikToks in it. And I'm like, this man probably sees me in this sweatshirt and thinks I'm a psychopath and is like, she's obsessed with me. Why is she always wearing my sweatshirt? But like, it's just comfortable, and I just love the sweatshirt. But like, yeah, I'm a thief when it comes to male clothes. I will steal that shit on accident and you'll never get it back. But anyways, where was I going with this? Most of the time they always give you like the weirdest fucking pajamas. Like, it's like they've never had to pick out pajamas for a woman before, which maybe that's a green flag that, you know, I guess maybe red flags would be going off if they like had pajamas already set out for me. I don't really know what I'm looking for in that aspect, but you go to their house and you're like, can I have pajamas? Because they like change. They changed into their little pajamas that they're gonna wear to bed, and then they're just like staring at you like, get naked, bitch. And you're like, wait, whoa. Can I have pajamas? Like, I don't want to sleep in a mini skirt and I don't want to get naked right now, okay? And then they start like going through their clothes to find like the absolute worst pajamas they could give you. They're giving you like a t-shirt from fucking middle school because they're like, all girls steal clothes. All girls steal clothes. I'm never getting this back. I'm never getting this back. And you're like, you know, true. But how would he know that I am a male thief, stealer, clother? What was I trying to say? How would they know that I steal men's clothes before even like knowing me? But they give you a t-shirt from like fucking middle school. It like has their middle school logo on it. And then they give you boxers that are also probably from like the 8th grade. And they're like, oh, this is perfect. Which like now I'm thinking, is it because they just think I'm like so skinny that they're like, here's my 8th grade clothes, you know, because they're trying to find something that would fit for me? Or is it because they are like, let me give her something that I don't give a fuck about, which would be my 8th grade middle school basketball t-shirt and my 8th grade boxers, which like, why do they still have those? But this is coming from a real life experience. So if this is like not relatable at all, let me know so I can go talk about this to my therapist. But I feel like that's what they're doing. And they're giving you those clothes. And then sometimes like the next day they're like, can I get that shit back? And you're like, I didn't want your 8th grade middle school shirt, babe. You can have this back immediately. You can have this back right now. I will put my party clothes on so fast. You can have your shit back. But like when they do give you the pajamas, then you're like, I'm thirsty. Then they give you like the weirdest fucking amount of water. And then they have nowhere for you to put the water. And then I feel like every time I go to a male's house, I'm always like hungry because I get hungry after the bar. I like to eat a burrito. I like to eat a chip. I like to eat something. And you're always like, can I have a snack? Do you have anything? And they're like, and they open their fridge and they have like one piece of turkey. I remember one time I was at a man's house and I was hungry and I asked him if I could have a snack. You know, like if a male was here and he wanted a snack, I'd make him a snack. So I was like, do you have any like snacks? Do you have anything I could eat before I go to bed? And he was like, yeah, like, go look at my fridge. Like, yeah, you can find something for sure. Go look at my fridge, baby girl. And I was like, okay, period. So I like went to his fridge and I opened it up. And there was literally a piece of turkey. like one piece of turkey, and I think there was like a beer. And I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Was the snack he was implying I eat is the piece of turkey? Like, what is this male eating? And I was laughing because I couldn't believe that, like, where's his, like, what does he eat? So I think I went back to his room and I was like, you only have, like, a slice of turkey, like, out of concern for you, like, what do you eat? And he did not find that funny, but I was genuinely coming from a place of concern, because why do you only have a slice of turkey and a beer in your fridge? Like, is that not alarming to anyone else? Like, what is this man eating for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? He also didn't have a pantry, so I did not get a snack. But I don't know why he just didn't say, like, I don't have anything for you to eat. I don't know why he let me open the fridge to see a piece of turkey. A piece of turkey. One piece of turkey, guys. And I didn't eat it. I did not eat that piece of turkey because I felt bad. You know, I would have felt like a fucking bitch if I ate his one and only piece of turkey and drank his one beer. You know, that would be fucked. But I did get into those middle school pajamas, and I drank the water that I had to get for myself because he wouldn't even get me water. And yeah, no snacks were had. Men never have snacks. And also, if a man does have snacks in his house, he has those like fucking protein shakes. I don't even know what they're called. I'll find a picture. But every fucking man is obsessed with those protein shakes, which, like, I'm not even hating on them because I've never tried them. You know, they're probably amazing if everyone's drinking them, but every guy has them. They all have the protein shakes, and that's like all they eat. I feel like guys are just like, protein, I need protein. And I'm like, I need guacamole. I need something. Also, someone at the grocery store yesterday was talking about animal crackers, and I haven't heard animal crackers in so long. Like, it unlocked a childhood memory for me. I was like, holy shit, do I need to buy animal crackers? Like, I feel like they have such a distinct taste, and I feel like they would bring me a lot of joy. But I was already in the checkout, so I was like, I'm not going to go find animal crackers. But there were animal crackers. But you get your pajamas on, you drink some water, you maybe have a snack, and then you get in their bed, and immediately I feel like they're always trying to canoodle you. Like, within 5 seconds, they're like, I had a lot of fun tonight. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Get on me, bitch. And you're like, whoa, Jacob, chill the fuck out. And they also never have fuzzy blankets. Like, is that just a girl thing? I feel like guys are not into fuzzy blankets. And one thing about me is, like, I have to sleep with a fuzzy blanket. I feel like all of my friends know this information about me. Like, I have to have a fuzzy blanket on. I can't sleep without a fuzzy blanket. And I don't think I'll ever be able to sleep without a fuzzy blanket. But men never have them. Men never have fuzzy blankets. All they have is a comforter and sheets. They never have a fuzzy blanket. And so it's really hard for me to sleep there anyways, because of this problem that we are having in society, is that men don't use fuzzy blankets. Why don't they use fuzzy blankets? It makes me sleep like a little baby. I feel like a little bird in a nest in my fuzzy blanket, and men never have them. And I feel like men also always have like extremely small comforters. Like, they just don't fit their bed well enough. And I also am like a hogger of the blankets. Like, I do kind of steal that shit. But it, like, I wouldn't need to steal all the blankets if they had a fuzzy blanket. Like, I would be fine with just a fuzz. But they never have that. Then you, like, get in their bed, they try to canoodle you, and you're like, I don't want to be canoodled right now. Like, I don't know. Or maybe you do want to be canoodled. It really just depends on what's going on. And they fall asleep in literally 5 seconds. Literally 5 seconds. You guys are having a conversation. You could even be mid-conversation. Or you could be getting home and thinking you're going to have a wonderful conversation, and they're boom, passed out. They're sleeping. And you're like, I cannot believe this man is actually asleep. Like, how did he just fall asleep in 5 seconds? All of them. They all fall asleep in 5 seconds. Someone research that, because what the fuck does that even mean? I wish I could fall asleep in 5 seconds like that. It takes me like an hour to fall asleep. Like, I have way too many thoughts sometimes, and I just like am so woke that I can't fall asleep. Men, on the other hand, you're like, wow, tonight was so great. They're snoring. You're like, what the fuck? How did he fall asleep? We were just talking about the future and the children we were going to be making one day. We were just talking about the white picket fence we were going to create and the farm we were going to have. He doesn't give a fuck. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Men actually probably hate having sleepovers with me because, honestly, I talk a lot, as I'm sure we're all fully aware, but like, especially at a sleepover with a male, I'm like blah, 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 talking about everything. I'm telling them all my secrets. I'm telling them everything. Anything they want to know, I'm like, yep, let me tell you. And it's probably why I don't get invited back often. You know, they're like, this girl didn't shut the fuck up. This girl told me about the girl that hit her in kindergarten. Like, they are learning things about me that they're like, I didn't ask. Like, have you seen those TikToks where they're like, when the guy thinks he was gonna hit and then the girl doesn't like shut the fuck up? Like, that's me. They always think they're gonna hit, and then I'm like, so when I was in 3rd grade, and they're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So maybe they're play sleeping. Just kidding. I've literally tested it out. I've like dated people that also fell asleep in like 0.5 seconds, and I'd be like, bruh, like Jacob, and I'd be like poking him and being like, hello, do you want to hang out? And Jacob's like sleeping. And all men snore. That's another thing. It's really a struggle to have a sleepover with a male because they all snore, which, what the fuck is that about? I hate snoring, you know, and I know that you can't help it. I know that you cannot help snoring, but like, I mean, can you help snoring? I don't know. I feel like, I don't think I snore, but also, like, maybe that has to do with the nasal. Like, I don't know, but all men snore. All men snore. They, like, pass out in 5 seconds, and then they're snoring, and then you're, like, about to fall asleep, and you're, like, resting your eyes, and then they're, like, moving, they're like jumping. Like, are men fighting people in their dreams? What are they doing in their dreams? Are they in a race car? Like, this is what I just imagine men are dreaming about, fighting in like racing cars. I don't know why, or like maybe they're playing basketball in their dream. I feel like men do that. And another thing is, like, men's rooms are always super hot, or their rooms are always super cold. They're never a temperature that anyone wants it to be at. I feel like every time I also can't sleep because I'm like, it's freezing cold in here and they don't have a fuzzy blanket. Or I'm like sweating because I'm like, it's so hot in here. You know, they just have their houses at weird temperatures. They always have their houses at weird temperatures, which people might think I have my house at a weird temperature because I do like it a little bit freezing cold in here. But that's because I have like 5 fuzzy blankets to canoodle with, you know? They also, like, back to the snoring part, I feel like they all deny that they snore. And sometimes it's not even, like, a snoring. It's just, like, they make weird noises. Like, they're like, and you're like, what? What is going on? And then in the morning, they're like, how'd you sleep? How'd you sleep? And you're like, well, you snored all night long. And they're like, I don't snore. And you're like, no, like, you do snore. Like, you fully snore. And they're like, I don't snore. I've never snored in my life. And you're like, no, you snore every night, actually, Joseph. You snore every fucking night. You snore every fucking night, babe. Like, what are you talking about? And they're like, I don't snore. I don't snore. I don't snore. They snore. Ooh, another good point is men hate white noise. I have to sleep with white noise every single night, especially ever since living in a bigger city and like having people drive by with their cars and whatnot. Like, I have to sleep with white noise on or I like cannot fall asleep. I have to have white noise on or I'm like so awake. So every time I'm at a male's house, I'm like, can I play my white noise? Because like, I feel like it makes everyone sleep better. Like, babies listen to white noise because it makes them pass out. And I'm an adult that likes to listen to white noise because it helps me pass out. Like, that shit works. I think that's why I sleep so well on planes, because it like has that white noise effect kind of naturally going on. But they hate it. Every time I'm at a male's house and I'm like, can I play my white noise so I can like go to bed tonight? And they're like, why you gotta listen to that shit? Why you gotta listen? That's gonna keep me up all night. Murr, murr, murr. And they're complaining about the white noise. And I'm like, bruh, what? The white noise isn't affecting anyone. And little do they know, I play white noise on a fucking speaker. I play white noise on a fucking speaker in my bedroom. That's how loud I need the white noise on, okay? And they hate it. They hate it. They're like, you can play it, put it on a timer. You get it on for like 15 minutes. You can have your white noise on for 15 minutes. And you're like, I hate it here. I don't have a fuzzy blanket. I'm in 8th grade clothes. I barely have water. I was just told to eat a slice of turkey as a snack. And now I can't even listen to my white noise? Like, what is there to have here? What is this giving? It's giving nothing. It's giving pain and suffering. Then they get, like, the best night of their fucking lives. They have the best sleep of their fucking lives. Like, they're like, I just got the best sleep ever. They wake up at, like, 7 a.m., fully rested, feeling great. And they're like, oh, I got the best sleep of my life. How'd you sleep? And you're like, I haven't gone to bed. I actually haven't gone to bed yet. I've been awake this whole time. And then the first thing that they do, all men, when they wake up, the first thing they do is turn on sports. Or they're like looking up sports or something. They're doing something that involves sports. They're like, oh shit, like Tyler something just won the game and he scored whatever. And you're like, what? It's 7 a.m. Why is this the first thing you do? Or they're like turning on football and they're like, ooh, this is the biggest game. Like, you gotta go. The biggest game is about to happen in 10 minutes. And you're like, what? It's like literally 7 a.m. It's literally 7 a.m. Why is there basketball on the TV? Why is he Googling football players? What is going on in here? Like, why is that their first thought? Is sports. Like, should I be that passionate about something that when I wake up, I'm, like, checking to see if, like, someone won something? Like, I don't know. But it's happened too many times. Too many times where I'm finally getting a rest for 20 minutes and then the man wakes up and then he's like, oh, touchdown. And you're like, what? What time is it? Is it, like, 3 p.m. and it's like, no, it's like literally 8 in the morning. I didn't even know people played sports that early. Do they play sports that early, or are these men just like rewatching videos? Or they're like scrolling on TikTok and they're watching like fucking men with podcasts and they're like, oh my god, this was the realest thing he ever said. This was the realest fucking shit. Like, look at this. Or they're on Hinge and they're looking for their next girl to bring home. I've had that happen before. And then after you're, like, awake, they're watching their sports. They're, like, telling you what they're going to do for the day. They're like, oh, I got to go to the gym. I'm going to go play basketball with Robert. And then I'm going to, like, eat some protein. And then I'm, like, I'm going to go blah. And you're like, what? What the fuck? Why is every man awake right now? And then they either are like, okay, well, bye, like, figure out how to get home, and they, like, expect you to just call an Uber for yourself. Or if they do drive you home, they're, like, driving so fast, they're, like, trying to show off in the car that they, like, know how to drive a car, and it's like, sir, I also know how to drive a car. Like, I'm glad at your age you, like, know how to drive a vehicle. And then they always play, like, the craziest songs. They're, like, playing a song about, like, fucking 3 bitches, and you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck did we just have? Did we have anything? And they're like, fuck 3 bitches in the back, yeah! And you're like, whoa, where am I? And then you guys never speak again. You never speak again, you never hear from them again. You're like, I don't even know who that was. But now I have his sweatshirt, his 8th grade sweatshirt. And I'm going to wear this shit for the rest of my life. But, you know, I don't know why. I've just been thinking about, like, having a sleepover with a male for a long time. And then, like, the man last night that was trying to canoodle me, I was, like, started having flashbacks to sleepovers with males. And I was like, yep, not doing that. I don't want to ever do that again. I don't want to be in that situation anytime soon. If you've never had a sleepover with a male, you know, I don't know if I just even inspired you slightly to want to ever do that. And if you haven't had one in a long time, I hope I just reminded you of what it's like. You know, I'm sure there are good times when you can have good sleepovers with males. I just haven't experienced it. That is kind of all I have to share with you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Let me know your thoughts on male sleepovers. Let me know if you've been in a situation similar to this or if you've never experienced this. I feel like it's a universal experience that we all go through, but I could be wrong. But thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and I will catch you guys next week.